outro.
Oh, perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to get into. Okay. So apparently Blake Lively is a mega bitch. And this was a shock to me because I love Ryan Reynolds and I just assume they're both delightful. But
I mean, she seems cool as hell to me.
apparently she was very rude to to an interviewer.
Welcome to my apartment, or in my living room, my real life living room. I'm Blake Lively.
I'm Jenny Slate.
I'm Colleen Hoover. And I'm Isabella Ferrer.
And we are all in the movie It Ends With Us. I have some prompts for questions. If we could quit our jobs, what would we like to do?
Hold on. This is not the one I wanted to talk about. Let's go back.
Because
she seems great there.
Right?
She seems delightful there. In this clip, she's a super cunt. Scroll, 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 scroll.
Wait, I love Blake Lively because of Gossip Girl, but she is a complete and total moron in that. I'm talking about her on my morning show tomorrow. I'm talking about her her new movie. She has some interesting fashion choices coming up.
Oh.
But, as of late, yeah, I can't get a read on her what she's like in real life, but I'll never forget her. Like, people pine over her husband. She went on stage and they were like screaming. She was like, "Boy, he's mine," just so everyone knows. Like, I think she's sort of an odd bird. Yeah. And then she was in that strange shipwrecked movie with her co-host was like a seagull or something. Yeah.
What?
Don't ask me. I've done too many deep dives into Blake.
Her co-host was a seagull.
Yeah, she was in this movie called. She got stranded on a rock. She was like a surfer, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so innocent." And then, yeah, the only person she talked to was she didn't speak to anybody, but the entire time she just talked to a bird.
Isn't she like recently come out in a public post and say something like if like Ryan Reynolds can't do any more Deadpool movies or she'll divorce him or something like really cringe?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I found it.
Yay!
Okay. This made me so angry. Okay. Ding ding ding.
Bing.
Norwegian interviewer Kirsti Fla shares her nightmare interview with Blake Lively conducted in this resurfaced from 2016 while Lively was promoting Woody Allen's Cafe Society. Sitting down with Blake Lively and her co-star Parker Posey for Cafe Society is the most uncomfortable interview situation I have ever experienced. It is not okay to congratulate someone on their pregnancy or ask another woman about what costume she is wearing for a film.
Not one of Woody's best films, by the way. It bombed. But...
Oh, this is so just cunty out the gate. I don't understand.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
Congrats on your little bump. Like, what's wrong with? Oh my God, you're pregnant.
What
Congrats.
I want to know, was it public that she was pregnant at this time?
That's what I'm wondering too.
Because like,
yeah.
if the interviewer was just like guessing because she looked pregnant, then like she can fucking fuck off.
Well, and what world does she look pregnant? Yeah, she doesn't exactly look pregnant.
To word it as your little bump instead of congratulations on your pregnancy, like that's a little off-putting.
It is off-putting. Yeah.
Like I've never
I don't
been
know.
Pregnant, so I don't know exactly how.
I don't think her intentions are bad. I would say like if you, it's one thing if you talked about it in like the pre-show. Here's the thing: if I'm Blake Lively and I don't want to talk about my pregnancy, I would go, look, I'm pregnant. It's really early or whatever, or I'm just not talking about it. Can we not bring it up? That's on her. Especially
it is early because she doesn't have a bump here. This is it was
sitting down.
Yeah, you can't. There's no way you could tell.
Normally, like give them like a list of things that they're going to talk about, and then like the like their handler says like you can talk about this, you can't talk about that, you can. So like, was this not discussed beforehand? Because that's bad on both parties.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, I have so many questions. All right.
You've got 2 nice ones.
And they are kind of bumps, aren't they?
And
Yeah, now it's getting
not
weird.
bumps. The lovely lady lumps. Check
Okay.
it out.
Thank you. Thank you. You like the movie?
Everyone wants to talk about the clothes, but I wonder if they would ask the men about the clothes.
yes, very
That
Hillary
shit is
Clinton
so
of her,
weird.
right? Yeah, okay.
He has some beautiful. That's what I'm saying. His wardrobe was beautiful.
I know.
Corey's
Everybody.
wardrobe
I
was
know.
gorgeous.
He's
Those
so great.
high-waisted pants.
He's so great.
I wish men
I'm
wore
sorry,
high-waisted
too.
pants
I
like
know.
that still.
Me
Or
too.
their father with his.
This part is really fucking weird.
It's
Because they're not even looking at the interviewer. They're just like
yes,
being shitty.
Like, wait,
there's
like
power
I get
in
that
female
a lot
numbers,
of-
and they're like now just being like,
yeah,
I think it was a dumb, stupid
actresses
question. Yeah, and now these
Actresses have a
people are just
problem with that
shitting on her.
question.
Yeah, ugh.
Like they've
I don't
complained about it before in past interviews. I've seen it many different actresses complaining about shit like that. But why wouldn't she just say it to the interviewer? Like, hey, I have a question. Would you like talk to male like
Right.
actors about this kind of stuff?
I don't know.
Right? Like,
I just don't
why-
think you
why
have to
is
be
she-
so cunty. Like, even if you're being I would say, look, this woman is probably asking questions in good faith. She's trying to do the best she can.
Yeah.
If you don't want to talk about the costumes, try to spin it to something that you did like about the experience. Spin it into something positive. Like, I don't like it.
Or
when
also bring up the
it-
guys' outfits.
have a
like they're
chip on
doing
their
with the brand.
shoulder.
I
I would
think
say,
everyone in this
yeah, no, this is
scenario
just
is a
one of-
monster.
This is one of those situations where like it's like they're looking to be insulted by
Yes.
Yeah.
And like they don't know. They've never had to interview somebody. They don't know how hard it is. And they're just kind of teaming up and
most women love to talk about their pregnancy. You know? Most women be like, "Oh,
Or
like yeah, I'm
clothes.
really excited
Yeah.
about like like heaven forbid, like just like responding respectfully or saying like I would rather
Yeah.
talk about something else."
You know what
Right.
else? Blake Lively is a fucking fashion icon. Not only
Yeah.
from Gossip Girl, she's at the Met. She's a fashion icon. For her not to want to talk about clothes and say, "Okay, now I'm offended because would you ask a man that question?" is she's just mad about the bump question, I guess. But like,
Probably because she doesn't she.
yeah, and
the
that
design
makes
clothes
no
for
sense. Yeah.
movies she's in.
What's that?
Like,
Courtney?
I've heard her brag about like how she designs clothes for movies that she's in. So like, wouldn't
Yeah.
she get like super stoked about this to be able to talk about the clothes? Like that's just
She should be, right. But now it's the Hillary Clinton will. Would you ask a man that question? That makes sense. That woman's in politics. You are in Gossip Girl. Okay? Like, it's not an inappropriate question. All right? Like,
yeah.
So
Just
good.
like it's just like
Did you
that.
catch
You can feel
the
it.
tablecloth on the light in the Italian restaurant when they eat
I
spaghetti in it?
noticed that. No.
But
Uh,
There's
Yeah, I
so
feel
much
like-
warmth of everything, you know.
Yeah, it's not just the women that have the clothes.
But
I feel like the women
Victoria-
get the conversation, but it's like
yeah,
every detail with everybody.
but
Like,
yeah,
it's so,
it was
so
amazing
beautiful.
to look at, and then to
Steve's white
see it.
suits.
Yes.
And then
What do
you
you
know-
feel like is the biggest misconceptions about fame and Hollywood?
Chrissy, everybody's
That's
saying
a good
they can't hear
question.
can you turn the video audio up?
The
Yeah, the
absolute
video
loudest.
audio.
It's
People
the
are
loudest
saying
it can
it.
go.
So turn up your computers, everyone. Sorry.
listen
So I
to
see
us
if there's a
scream into your
different.
ears.
I don't know.
No, I
They
mean
had
this
they
is
had
fine, yeah.
captions a second ago, at least maybe.
Oh yeah, there are captions.
I think the
Yeah.
idea that people think that they know you, I think because
Captions. Where are the captions at?
Captions,
There are
captions.
we
Who's
just
got
don't know
the
where they
captions?
are.
Maybe there's not. Can you guys not hear it at all, or is it just low?
Yeah, no, I it sounds like
It's really, really quiet.
It's
All
just
right,
low.
all right. Let's find a
but
different
it's fine.
version.
No, I mean it was fine. It was-
This one, okay.
It looks like that's the same.
Oh, this is much better. Okay. Ooh. Beep beep. Do over. We are a professional show here.
Bing, 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 bing.
And somebody in the chat said we don't know what happened before the interview. That's a very good point.
Yes, that happens all the time.
Your little bump.
congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
You've got 2 nice ones.
Like if you're outing somebody's pregnancy, I don't know. I think that's on Blake. Like if you look at all, even a little bit showing, even if you're not, and you just don't want to talk about your pregnancy, you got to tell the person that to avoid a moment like this.
Yes, this woman, and so it starts off with a bump. It starts off with a bang because this woman obviously made a misstep by, instead of saying congrats on your pregnancy, the poor lady just made a misstep that offended Blake by saying congrats on your little bump. And then Blake, I guess, sort of what shall we call it, fat shames her. Congrats on your little bump, or your flat chest shames her. Like, I mean, yeah, I have a little more grace if I were you, Blake Lively. But
And they are kind of bumps, aren't they?
No, not bumps. The lovely lady lumps. Check it out.
Thank you.
Are
You like the movie?
Parker Posey is being a cunt. Like, look at her.
Yeah.
She looks strung out. Like,
You're a Woody Allen fan?
she's on something.
Most of his movies, and this one was so
Poppers,
visually amazing.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Did you guys love wearing those kind of clothes that you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And working in
Everyone
digital.
wants to talk about the clothes, but I wonder if they would ask the men about the clothes.
you know what?
great.
You were in a
Yeah.
Woody Allen movie.
God.
He married his daughter wife.
too.
Okay, you're
Stick
so
it back in
high
the
on
deck.
life.
Nobody cares. Holy crap.
This screams like, why don't they take us seriously as female women actresses? How come we're getting these softball lady questions? It's like, fuck you. These are the questions that are like,
Because you act like a
easy-
cunt when asked about like basic stuff. Like that's why.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Woody Allen married his
Adopted daughter.
Okay, his child bride. Okay,
and guess
Like,
what,
please.
Blake? Part of the reason why you were hired is because you look good in the clothes. Okay, so it's not like it has nothing to do with it. I just don't like
Yeah.
the cattiness. I don't like.
Well, it was
Little
just it was such a
Jesse's
simple
He has
suits
some
and
beautiful. That's what
how
I'm saying.
he
His wardrobe was
I
beautiful.
know.
Corey's
Everybody.
wardrobe
I
was
know.
gorgeous.
He's
Those
so great.
high-waisted pants.
He's so great.
I would wish men
And
wore
sorry,
high-waisted
too.
pants like
I
that
know.
still.
Me
Or
too.
the father with his tank top in
Oh,
bed.
it's so
Just
good.
like it's just like
Did you
that.
catch
You can
the,
feel
the
it.
tablecloth on
They're
the
like they're making
She's
it up.
dying. She's dying inside. This woman.
On the
Kudos.
light
She's
in the
keeping her
Italian
composure
restaurant.
though.
Yeah.
When they eat
I
spaghetti
didn't
and
notice that.
but
No.
there's
I
so
feel
much
like-
warmth of everything, you know.
Yeah, it's not just the women that have the clothes.
But
I feel like the women
Victoria-
get the conversation, but it's like
yeah,
every detail with everybody.
but
Like,
yeah,
it's so,
it was
so
amazing
beautiful.
to look at, and then to
Steve's white
see it.
suits.
What would justify them basically ruining this interview?
What's crazy about this too is that like the question that the interviewer asked could have easily led into them all three having this conversation together.
Right.
But
Yes.
instead
they turn towards each other and just fucking shit all over this lady. And again, she's going with all the wrong questions. I don't know if she wrote them. Baby bump, maybe you should. Or I love your bump, maybe shouldn't be the
But
first
her tone
question. But
isn't cunty.
yeah.
Her tone, again,
Yeah,
we
no.
don't know. She could have completely outed this pregnancy after a conversation about keeping it quiet. Who knows? And if that's the case,
Right,
then
and
she
if
deserves it.
yes, 100%. So if she did, then I'd act worse. I'd be even cuntier. But I don't know. We would have to know the facts. So
But then can't you say I really don't want it outed about the pregnancy? So couldn't you just say like we gotta start this over? Because this is not a live interview. This
I was
is
gonna
all
say this is
recorded.
obviously pre-recorded. She could have said
So,
like we're not talking about
You guys
that.
said
Let's-
cut this. We're doing it over. I'm sure you
Yeah.
forgot, but I don't want to talk about my pregnancy. That's how
Right.
you handle it. You don't just just tank the whole interview over it.
right, with your mullet friend.
Could be
hormones.
And then you notice in LA
Amazing.
alongside Vittorio because it is a lot brighter and sunnier in LA and New York has just a steaminess to it.
And I think the whole Hollywood glam. It's so glamorous and
Mhm.
everything. Can you relate to the things they were saying about Hollywood? It's so easy to get seduced by the fame and the money and the
Oh,
glamour.
you see it all the time. That was one of my favorite things about the movie, were the subtle turns to
Mm-hmm.
their own transition into like the ego of showbiz that Kristen has in that
Mhm.
scene with Steve Carell. And
She's not even looking at this woman.
Yeah, that is really weird. There's a reason. There's something.
why like just answer
It
the
just seems
question
really
to
catty.
the person that asked it. Why are you
Yeah.
telling Blake about this? Like, that's just so. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? She's probably holding a grudge about the belly
The
comment. Bump
But you're
comment.
pregnant. You're supposed to have a bump.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, maybe she just didn't like the wording, or she didn't want to talk about her pregnancy. But again, like you said, Chrissy, she could have just said, yo, didn't want to talk about that. So let's rewind and start again. Yes.
Let's say she probably didn't want to do this interview. She probably thought it was a waste of her time. She probably thought it was like small potatoes. So she's like, I don't give a fuck. Like this is not worth my time.
And then with Bobby taking on the persona of a club owner, but still, like, these are things you do when you're an adult.
Yeah.
When you have to work, you have to.
Dude, she's
you
on
play
so
a
many
part.
drugs.
You.
She
I
does seem like she's
agree.
on something.
She's like high.
Yeah, she's. And I feel the earth vibrating through me, and its rhythm is so.
Blake's like, you're doing so great. I can't
tempting and
stop looking at
seductive.
you.
Like,
Yeah. It's so true, Mullet.
You're that important. You're fucking actresses, okay? Like stop making it sound like you're curing cancer.
you're jerking off to the lighting in a movie. Like, what the fuck?
Ugh,
This
actresses.
is bizarre.
You play at your life in a way that you find successful, or so it's a lot about choices. And then they carry this love, and it's just very
Yeah,
very
it's-
If
grown
I
up
were
in a
this
way.
interviewer, I would have gotten up and left.
Right?
I would have just like, I'll let you two. Why don't you two just sit here and fuck each other? How about that? Just go
Yeah, they
down
just-
on each other. Yeah.
Camera pans back to her and she's gone. Like she's
Right.
just like,
I would have just
making a
gotten
cup
up
of
and like,
coffee.
well, right. Speak about whatever you would like. My
Yeah.
time's worth nothing. That's cool. Go ahead.
See how authentic these people truly are and what good people they truly are too.
Yeah.
Because it's what you would see from the outside of the cafe society. You could dismiss each of their characters, but
Right.
to see what a heart and soul each of them have is nice, and it's something that
She's
that's
grasping the
thing,
furry
you know,
the wall. Look at her.
Yeah,
She's
the
on drugs.
pillow.
She's touching the furry pillow. Like,
is
let
weird.
these two gaze into each other's eyes on their own time. Like,
Yeah.
or
What
is it
is
relating to it
happening?
personally
This
that you see?
interview.
You have these ideas of people that you're fans of, and then you meet them and get to know them as a person, and
She
often
finally 3 minutes in looks at the interviewer.
you're such a greater fan of them as a person than you are as the person that people
She
feel
is
like they
really
know.
grabbing. This is like what the baby does with something fuzzy. This is what the baby does with the dog's fur. She just like pinches it and grabs
And
it.
that's always that's always nice and
Oh,
refreshing.
dude,
when
she's
you
so
see that.
high.
Petting
Yeah.
the pillows.
she's high as shit.
Dude, Blake Lively is saying a whole lot of nothing in this answer. Like, why don't you just shut the
They
fuck
both
up,
are.
lady? You
They
don't even
both are
feel like
literally just-
talking anyway.
Right.
Yeah, just to hear themselves talk.
That is
Do you
a
feel
that
like-
is a high person, a person on poppers or blow or something. She's bobbing her head. Blake Lively saying nothing, and she's grasping the fur on the pillow.
It looks like she's
Yeah,
trying
but
to
did
pet
she
it like
just-
it's a dog. Like,
yeah,
Dude, she dropped some MDMA before this. That's what it is.
yeah.
Ooh.
Who knows?
What do you feel like is the biggest misconceptions about fame and Hollywood in general?
I think the idea that people think that they know you, I think because of the how intrusive media is these days, there's people care so much more about your personal life than they do your work. And if you aren't open with your personal life, then they just make it up for you and share it for you.
Oh, that not a direct comment about this woman asking about her pregnancy then?
So maybe it wasn't supposed to be out, and she
Yeah.
did. That's why they're offended and being
Hunty.
Wait, was she
Hunty, yeah.
pregnant?
I don't know. I
during
didn't get that vibe.
Yeah,
but-
she was pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't
Then
tell. I hate
again,
everyone here.
This
yeah.
wasn't a live stream. Just be like, cut. We got to do this over. Sorry, we're not talking about my pregnancy.
Right.
Yeah.
Talk about Woody Allen's daughter wife. How about
Right.
that? That's out in the
So
public.
I think the biggest
Not my
misconception
bump.
I see often is people feeling like they know someone that they don't, because they know what the media has created of someone. And the disappointing thing is when you meet the people, they're always so much more awesome than than they're portrayed to be. I mean, that's normally my experience. And even people
Really, I feel like they're worse than they are.
Well, I mean,
The media
look how
props
awful
them up.
she is.
Mm-hmm.
people that are portrayed to be really great people, they're just a lot more complicated and interesting and nuanced and caring and thoughtful. And that's
What are you
always
saying?
that's always nice, you know, to see that your idea of someone isn't always who they actually are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
Like, I can't wait to get out of
Fucking
here.
Bye.
That's
Bye.
the southern
Oh.
equivalent would be welp.
Yeah.
Well,
That was 4 minutes and 17 seconds long. Woo.
So was that a
minutes.
junket? Was that like a deal where they're sitting there and all the people are rolling in, or
Maybe.
I don't know. One was yeah. I don't know. Jeez.
Dude, she said a whole lot of nothing.
I
Okay,
get
we're
the
gonna-
whole like, yeah, people don't know her. She wants to be recognized for her work, but yeah, she was just pissed off from the bump comment, and then her
Okay.
high
I mean,
friend, yeah, just
like I said,
egged
recently-
her on.
I
Yeah.
really do believe actors love drama, though. Like all
Well,
of
yeah,
the actors I know, they like drama. They just in life and in movies, they just like it.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is what the comments say. Again, this is like a 1999 interview. Blake is purposely carrying a side conversation with her co-star and leaving the interviewer out. Such a microaggression, passive-aggressive, mean girl tactics and behavior.
Oh yeah.
Biggest misconception was everyone thinking Blake was a nice person, framing an innocent question as misogynistic. We're asking about fashion is now fast forward flaunting your Versace gown and wear your florals is crazy.
It's not an inappropriate question for Blake. If you know her like I know her.
Like I do.
She is a fashion icon. It's not
But
like
was she back in
asking the
2016?
fucking the ridiculous break dancer about fashion or something. Like it's not like asking AOC about fashion. Blake is known for her fashion. She's just pissy about the bump comment.
Yeah,
So,
I agree with
yeah.
you. It seemed like she was straightforward, and then she turned, and then she was done.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Blake Lively is invited to the Met every year for the past, I don't know what,
Right.
like 15 years. That's about fashion. That is an appropriate question for Blake Lively. That's insane.
Well, not to mention, it was just such a simple question. Did you enjoy wearing the clothes? Like, well, where does that become misogynistic? Where does that be? Well, who
Yeah.
does the guy
No,
say?
she's
And
a
the
cunt.
interviewer was
She's a
even
cunt.
like, I would ask the
Because
guys that question.
Even
If you're a woman politician, I get it. If you're like, why are you asking me what I'm wearing? I'm talking about my
Also,
like this. But
interviewer, maybe she's a bad interviewer, right? You as the interviewee, you're trying to make yourself look good. You're trying to sell a movie. You're trying to make yourself look like a good actress. You can take what maybe sounds like a superficial question and you can turn it into something meaningful. Like be like, oh yeah, it helped me delve into this character, blah. And then it's about the character you played or the work you did. You can you can pivot out of it being a superficial thing.
Yeah.
With their
Well, and,
answer.
women in Hollywood are so conditioned to believe that questions like that are so misogynistic that they forget that, like, they become misogynistic when they're like, oh my God, you lost like all this weight and your body looks insane in that Black Widow costume or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That's where it starts to get a little like, okay, you would never ask a guy that question. But asking the question is just as basic as that. It's like, dude, this isn't even like a fashion question. This is just, did you enjoy wearing the clothes? And they could have easily, like I said before, like they could have easily changed it into that conversation they were having with the two of them, but have it also with the interviewer.
Right. And then her high friend just pet the pillow and they just gazed into each other's eyes. It was horrific to watch. I don't know what
They
was
both
going
spoke
on
a
here.
lot and said not very much.
They said
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I'm 34 seconds in. I feel sick to my stomach for this interviewer. She handled it with class.
She
This
did.
is a classic high school bullying method. Acting like you totally click with your bestie right in front of the third wheel to make them feel excluded and ostracized and as rejected as possible. The interviewer wasn't pregnant. Her saying congratulations back was a slap in the face when she was only congratulating her pregnancy. Gross.
Right.
No, I thought of another thing that could like trigger that, and it's if it was after, if it was post pregnancy, like really fast after, but I don't know.
I doubt that.
I've heard that
Nobody's congratulating you on a bump after your pregnancy.
No.
The only person
Well, I mean, I've seen
congratulating
it
on a
happen before,
bump
but-
is Blake to her high friend. Congratulations on that bump you just did in the bathroom. Like that's
But
ridiculous.
I've also heard that that interviewer was actually having fertility issues and like was struggling to get pregnant, so it was
Oh,
like a double slap
no.
in the face.
Oh, damn.
Oh
I
my
don't know 100%
god,
sure, but, like, that would be fucking
Blake,
awful.
that is terrible. My god.
The interviewer was waiting for the perfect moment to drop this interview. Someone else says, I love how the interviewer never forgot this moment
And patiently
until it was the right time to drop this.
Good
Wow.
for her, yeah.
The interviewer should have responded, I'm unable to have children, and let that awkwardly hang in the air for Blake to deal with.
That actually
Yes.
was awesome.
yeah.
But she
if
did
these
handle that very gracefully.
if these
She
two women
did, yeah.
can do this to a professional reporter in front of a camera that is filming them, imagine how they treat other professional staff and ordinary people without cameras.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh.
Why is almost no one talking about how the grandma next to Blake is also very rude? She didn't look once at the interviewer, and she had the audacity to roll her eyes. They called Parker Posey a grandma.
She was high as fuck. I can't believe that no one's pointed that out yet.
She did
Yeah.
have the old
clearly
lady
on, like, ecstasy or
hairstyle too.
something.
I will say.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck.
Man, if I ever get super famous, I would never act like that.
You're so kind and gracious and wonderful to everyone, and you
Yeah.
talk to- yeah.
And
I've
Pearl
never-
says you have a girlfriend army.
Oh,
Right.
Oh, right. Yeah, Pearl is afraid of all my friends and acquaintances. Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.